Hey, welcome back to another episode of Musky Fishing Basics. So this week I'm going to talk about tuning a crankbait. It's fall time, people are running more crankbaits. So today I'm going to kick this little 22 short out of tune so that I can show you how to tune it. Tuning crankbaits is probably one of the more common questions I'll get. Guys will say, hey, I can't get this crankbait to run true, which sometimes you don't always want your crankbaits running straight and true. Sometimes you want them to track a little bit. In fact, those are the ones that tend to get hit more often. So you don't always want them perfectly in tune, but you sometimes want them to, you don't want them to track too far out where they're blowing into other baits in your spread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up the big motor. I'm going to show you what it looks like when we got a bait out of tune, and then we're going to show you how to tune it back in. It's a pretty simple adjustment that everybody can do right there on the water and get you back fishing quickly. So now what I did here is it's going to go right here with this line tie. You can see the line tie right there. So that's the important part about it. I'm going to kick that thing, I'm going to tweak it a little bit so that it's probably going to blow out to the left. So then what I'll have to do is I'll just have to tweak it back to the right, but I'm going to get that bait running so I can show you what it looks like when it's running out of tune. So as you can see in this video here, this bait wants to keep picking to the left. It wants to blow out a little bit. Now again, I'm just picking on this bait right now because it's an easy one to tune. What I did there is that bait was kicking out left, and I knew it was going to kick out left because I had tweaked it that way. So all you do is you just grab the little line tie right here, and you just got to tweak it back to the center, and you kind of want to take a look at it. And you don't need to make real harsh tweaks. You just need to make little ones. And if you didn't, then all you do is you just run it next to the side of the boat. If it runs true, like this one is right here, that's just as simple as it gets. Bait's running true. So that's all it took on that little 22 short. Like I said, I was just picking on the 22 short because it's an easy one to tune because the line tie is right here. Makes it really easy to get pliers in there. So what I did is, like I said, I kicked it out of tune by kicking it to the left. Now sometimes they'll come that way anyways. If a lip gets put in just a little bit off, you can have that problem with any particular crankbait. The only ones you wouldn't have to tune are headlocks and matlocks because of the pin system that they have on it. Those things are self-tuning. So then you just kick it a little bit back the opposite direction. If it was blowing out, say, to the right, you just want to kick it back to the left. If it's blowing out to the left, you just want to kick it back to the right. And that's pretty much all there is to tuning a crankbait. It's something that can definitely save. Some guys are like, oh, this bait's junk, it doesn't work. So these are just little tips to help you get that bait working. I mean, especially sometimes if it gets wrapped up in the net and a fish crushes it, it'll thrash around in the net. Sometimes it'll tweak the line tie that way too. So this way, if it's your hot bait and you caught 3 fish on it that day, you want to get it back fishing, but you can't get it to run true, it's possible that all happened was your line tie got out of tune. So that's Musky Fishing Basics this week. We really appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please consider doing that. We'll catch you all next week. Thank you.